Okay, so I'm now going to share the screen. Okay, so I think I will push this here. Okay, so I won't read everything because you have read that these are some of the senior leaders.
Okay, I'm recording now.
We work together with our partners. That's me here, and that's, let me say myself, DLI Zambia, leading Zambia group, DLI Germany. This is Poland, Lazarski University partner, DLI Germany. This is Ukraine, Kiev Slavonic University partner. This is DLI Ukraine representative. This is United Kingdom, England. And below here is part of our team here in Hamburg. I think some persons are familiar on other platforms. Then important, this man, I'm sure this is my screensaver now. Sorry, it's really dead. This man you are seeing here is really, I can give him gratitude to having shaped me, knowing the rules and the regulations of how to operate educational business in Germany is Mr. Kelber Brett. He's a director of education, northern part of Germany, Hamburg, and is really, is now, let me just say, he's been our consultant and chief advisor for the past 10 years so that we do not make any mistakes. Here you make one mistake, you are deregistered, you are blacklisted. So he's been like a father of our organization, and we've been doing together with him and his group of schools educational exchange programs between Germany and Africa. Now I bring my shield. No, I'm looking for this. Are you seeing the screen still?
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's it. You able to see this one here? Are you able to see?
But I'm seeing him.
Okay. Are you seeing my paper on the screen?
I'm seeing your face, not the slide.
Ah, okay. Wait a second. These techniques. Maybe it's, let me see. I think I have to share again. Once again. Are you able to see it now?
Just coming.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I will quickly run through this for a short while, then I can allow some questions. So welcome, we have already communicated. Brief background I've already given. Cooperators. So our cooperators, we've got Atlantic International University of Hawaii, USA. We've got Kiev Slavonic University of Kiev, capital city of Ukraine. We've got West Midlands Open College of United Kingdom, to be specific, in Warsaw, Birmingham. We've got, excuse me, we've got Lazarski University as well, Poland, in Warsaw, capital city as well. And at the same time, we've got the board in terms of assessments, the Cambridge University. So these are our, plus many other smaller cooperators within and outside. So now, why now in Africa? So why now in Africa? We have come to find a solution or to solve, which we have already started solving in Zambia, in Malawi, and Zimbabwe. And that solution is, we are not just yet another university. No, what we have done is we have come to empower that person who cannot even study locally, like you mentioned at some point, who can't meet to pay the school fees. Like we have discovered in Zambia, Zimbabwe, it's the same. For instance, Zambia, minimum you can pay, even at a public university owned by the government, minimum you can pay is $1,000 per semester. That is in Zambia, 20,000 kwacha. It's quite a lot of money. So you find that school leavers, they have got good grades, but they can't, they have given up. They have gone to the villages to cultivate. Now, we have got there with our partner universities, whom we have spoken to say, please, you demand for so much money when people come to study in your universities. But let us teach people in Zambia and Africa at reduced fees, manageable. So that's why we are in Africa. And what we are doing is when we approach a country, for instance, like in this case, Nigeria, we are asking, please find the average tuition fees. Of course, not private schools. Private are already known to be expensive. Universities. Find the average minimum fees a student in Nigeria can pay per semester. Then when you submit, for instance, you say, okay, in Nigeria, per semester in a public university or government university, they pay so much. For instance, they pay 600. Then we are going to say, no, us, we want to go with 600. We are going to go with, we are going to go with lower, because the same 600 is just an example. I don't know the figures there. It's the same 600 which has made some Nigerians to be on the streets, not to go to university. Why don't we make such a price so that we embrace them? And not only such a price, those who can manage to pay a lump sum, well and good. Those who can't manage, we give them how they can spread out kind of payments. So this is how we are helping out Africa, and why we are there in Africa, to make sure that, because a learned nation is a progressive nation. Even if there could not be jobs, but if somebody is learned, has got a degree, diploma somewhere, they can always come up with entrepreneurial minds and do something. So what are the study programs? Study programs, we have got quite a range. We just float all these 100, I think, plus degrees. We advertise, we sell them, then we see the feedback from the applicants. What are they interested in? Sometimes we tell the agents, like in your case there, please make recommendations. What are the popular programs in this state, in that state, or in the entire Nigeria? Because we are covering the whole country. It's up to you to advise. We don't know the geographical, distribution there, it well. So there you advise us to say, okay, you have sent us these programs. Maybe let's just tick these ones here for Nigeria, or let's just float everything and let the people choose what they want to study themselves. Then we pick it up from there. What are the fees involved? Fees involved, we are going to get advice from, we've got, of course, the minimum threshold, but you on the ground, you will advise to say Nigeria minimum university is charging so much. So if we charge like that, we are going to embrace and help others. Normally, when I'm talking about minimum, don't forget that also the rich are included, but the rich are in that group whereby they can do anything to the money, they can easily pay. But at the same time, we have to think of those, the vulnerables, we call them, okay, who are struggling with the fees. So that one is going to be discussed. Now, internships and further studies in Germany and Europe. This is why we've become very unique. We are not just like any other university, whereby they just train. This is what we've discovered. Even in Germany, it's like that. Okay, they train them. They say, okay, now go and look for your own jobs and do stuff. But goodness, in Europe here, before they are released, I'm telling you, these children, these graduates, much younger could they be. They are so well up that they can go into any other industry or any other country and contribute. Because what I figured out here, throughout Africa, according to our research and visitations, we are too good at theories. 70% or 80% theories in university, 20% practicals. When a child or a graduate comes to Europe to say, I want to work here, he or she is sent back to be retrained because of, lack of skills. And I was one of those long-time advocates to say, no, 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 Europeans, this is racism. How come, that time I was a child, my uncle went to England. He did at University of Zambia a degree. England now is sending a letter to say he has to be retrained for 6 months or 1 year, not knowing that it's because of the equipment that they have. You can do your chemistry, your engineering, when you are placed in a plant in Germany or anywhere in Europe, you won't perform because we don't have equipment back. So what we do is, while our students are learning in Nigeria, in this case, first 1 year, that is 2 semesters. That's the first year we call it. They are doing assessment tests. We call them CAT, continuous assessment tests, in other modules. At the end of the first year, okay, the papers are invigilated. Of course, our international lecturers that are going to come to Nigeria to invigilate the examinations and everything packaged and bring them here for marking. Then the best students after first year, those are going to be recommended to come and further study in Europe, the same program, third semester until the end semester. Then the rest, they are going to continue studying right in Nigeria. But even those who couldn't make a good grade to come and further study in Europe, they will still be having internships. Okay, we say those who are capable to come to Germany for internships, we've got a number of companies here willing to receive our students to come and do their internships, because internships are for free, but the secret is that student or those students who are coming to do internships, they come here for, because I think semester break is about 6 weeks. 4 weeks, you are in Germany, you are in Poland, you are in Ukraine, our partner countries, or you are in England. You do internships at a company, you go back, you get some write-up from that company. Okay, this person did internship at our company for 4 weeks. He was good, she was good. You go again later on, probably you come a different company. By the time you are finishing your bachelor or you are finishing your master's, and you say, no, I've worked so much in Nigeria after graduating. Let me go and probably find some greener pastures in Europe. With that one, any company you're going to join in Europe, they will say, no, no, you don't need to be trained. Already you've got experience through the internships that you did in our countries. So this is how we call it killing 2 birds with 1 stone, theory and big practicals. And not only that, also while students are learning there, and we've been doing it in Zambia, whereby we put students in a hall before Corona started. We'd say, okay, you guys, now we are at this company. This company deals for engineers. You have to be in a hall there. In a hall, then they put giant screen in a hall in Zambia. And this director of a company in Germany is talking now, showing them around and everything, just to arouse their interests. Similarly to future medical doctors. The hospital nurse is talking, a hospital doctor, that kind of interaction. So our students, we tell them, you are not just local. If you are studying in Nigeria, you are studying in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, you are not just a Zambian in terms of mentality. We broaden them at an early stage. Today, if you spoke to a Zambian student who are already on this program like for 6 months, for instance, they would be speaking to you like they have already been to Germany or like they've been to any of our partners because of that interactiveness. And their minds, they're thinking like already they are graduates. So we've got that part as well. Registration processes. How do we do registration processes for the students? What we do is we put an online form and a physical form, depending on how Nigeria is going to figure it out. Though we really promote, it's much easier for you as well, who are distributing the information, to go online. But how do we know this is coming from Nigeria? This is applicant is from Zambia, Ghana, and stuff. We can't just, of course, we can tell by the names, but not everybody can tell by the, maybe me being African, but my colleagues can't. So we are going to give you a code which every applicant from Nigeria is going to attach to that. And immediately that applicant applies, you receive a pop-up that, okay, now we have got so many students, 100 students, 200 students, for the reason of that share percentage which you are going to receive. So we have to move together. So first thing, information goes to the student. They show interest. And what we do is this, I want to tell this before I forget. The way we register them, we don't just register them blindly, not at all. One, you are going to have these students. You say, okay, DLI, we have got in the field of business administration, maybe so many students, 50 or 100 at the moment. We call what we call a seminar, advisory seminar, okay? We talk to them with our team about business administration and this and this. And we even ask them, why have you chosen this kind of a course? Because most of the students, like, we were shocked in Zambia. In Zambia, when applicants were coming, it was medicine, medicine, medicine. 95% of students, medicine. Why? The reason was, no, near the corner, there's a hospital. Near the corner, there's a clinic. And stuff like that. You shouldn't be determined by what is in your vicinity. Take what is at heart. Go for your passion. Because when you go for your passion, even if there's no company in that area, and you conquer that passion, you study that, a job is going to come through. You find yourself working in South Africa, working in Botswana, in Germany, in the US, where there's such kind of a course. So we give advisory lines as well as we're doing the registration processes. So when the students register, we give them, we assess, okay? We don't just do like, oh, you want to do computers, let's say mechanical engineering? Yes, okay, here you go, it's yours. No, one, they are going to, on the online form, they attach their school leaving certificates, and we've got a standard document which you are going to have as well, okay, to counter check. If you say you want to become an engineer, it's a must. On your school leaving certificate, you should have at least a merit in mathematics, at least a merit in physics. These are the main electives, plus any other 2 subjects. Mainly they have got 4 modules at first year. Plus, this is not an option. We don't call it an option. German language, we tell them it's a must. Why? Because come what may, at one point, you're going to find yourself coming on our exchange program for internship in Germany or for further studies in Germany. But when you come for further studies in Germany, of course, you're going to study further using English language, taught English. But you aren't going to end your life just in the classroom. You're going to go outside, you have to communicate in a restaurant, you have to communicate in supermarkets, and you have to integrate. Let alone when you get a job in Deutschland, you'll be using German language to speak. So also we teach them German language by the side, so in all the 5 subjects. So equally it goes like that. If somebody want to become a medical doctor, on our programs we say, show us. You must have biology or any biological sciences, and like that, and like that. Then we give them, now we ask them to say, okay, we want to redirect you. You don't qualify for engineering because you are weaker in mathematics. Take credit, you're going to fail. Can you take another second option? Then he says or she says this option, then we give them that option. When they say yes, we send them what is called test admission letter from Diverse Learning, Institute. Again, test admission letter. At the same time, the moment you are pressing a button, test admission letter is going to that student or applicant. A copy is going to the partner university, which is going to award that degree. Because the partner universities trust us, we have done all the job. They don't have to question us. They simply say, okay, perfect. Accepted by DLI means he or she fulfills the entry requirements. Also, the university is going to attach the second and final admission letter. So a student carries 2 admission letters. That's really awesome. Now, when the admission letter comes, the fees are attached, okay, which the student is supposed to pay. For instance, we call them scholarship contribution fees because our fees are under scholarship while reduced. They don't have to pay 10,000 per semester, 15,000 like usual fees, not at all. Okay. We, for instance, if we say Nigeria, let us say $350, for instance, we attach tuition fees, SCF, scholarship contribution fees, 350, for instance, dollars per semester, plus the affiliation fee of the university or your university. And amazing, out of all the universities, of course, like the American University affiliation fee, they reduced so much, but still, according to Zambian terms, for instance, that reduction of 1,000, I mean, from 12,000 to $1,400 affiliation, Zambia found it hard. Okay, so Zambia went for, Zambian students, I mean applicants, they went for the lower one. Our neighbors here, EF Slavonic University in Ukraine, they reduced massively to, I think, 120 euros, which is about $140 for the whole course of study affiliation for only $140. So you only pay $140. A 1 point payment goes to the university. Then the tuition fee, which we are going to agree with you according to your assessment there, goes now to the other side. And you are inside the class and you are inside the programs. You receive student card from Germany, you receive student card to also that affiliated with which you chose. Then learning methods. Learning methods because of COVID-19. Okay, because of COVID-19, the world is closed. I think even in Nigeria and in other parts of Africa, it's even better because Zambia, I know they have started opening universities earlier, though Corona is still spreading here. If you go to any universities, they are white elephants because Europeans, they died so much. They died, it was terrible. So they are insinuating maybe universities can fully open next year by or something. But us, we said, no, we have already been running what we call CDL, contact distance learning, meaning students can be at home like you are seated. Okay, they sign up. What do? We say, okay, business administration students, there are 500 students in Nigeria. We put them with what we call tutorial. I send them, one second, please. Okay, thank you. So we send them, the professors, they send them what are called assignments to work on in tutorial groups for the first week, second week, third week, fourth, fifth, sometimes to sixth week. They work out, plus pre-recorded lectures, okay, pre-recorded video lectures, whereby students at any time, that's the advantage. For instance, in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi even, there's too much problem of electricity. So anytime electricity comes, you just go on your lecture. You are learning on your mobile or on your computer and everything. You're communicating with the help of your professor, working out everything. But after this phase goes now, the CDL goes, then we blow a whistle to say, okay, now back to class. This is where now they come for the next 4 weeks, okay? Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock in the morning to about 17 hours with different professors in different modules or subjects, learning contact on Zoom like this one now. learning. We create lecture theaters on Skype and on Zoom, learning because professors are from different countries. Okay, first 2 hours, business administration professor from Germany comes online like this, teaches with slides and everything, goes out, another comes in until the day is finished. So we run like that for the next 4 weeks. 5th week, we say, okay, you've done the CDLs, you have learned, now you are going to do continuous assessment tests in everything, all the subjects. So we accord 2 days, we give them, I think, some break of 1 week to reflect. Then the next 2 days, they have to do the exams. Because these CDLs, the exams, the results are sent to the partner university, account for 30% of the very final exams, and they are seriously taken. So this is how we are doing the learning methods. I remember yesterday, I think I was talking to Pastor Emmanuel. He went through just like my, Pastor Hayaji. So I will learn the names with time. Yes, because in Zanga we don't have a J.
Yeah.
So J is so much in German language. That's why we got yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Mentioned about processes to register in Nigeria with the ministry and everything. So that comes later. First step, it's CDL, distance like this. Distance, any country, like we've communicated with, they don't have to have any influence. Students are glued to Europe. Only at some point, maybe when there's, what is it called? Contact cuts, continuous assessment tests. That's when we are going to say, Pastor Emmanuel, please organize your team in Nigeria only for 2 days. Let each team, okay, in his or her location, hire a big hall, okay, or a big church, okay, where everybody now, with some social distancing, of course, is going to come in, and you print the papers, the exam papers, they write the continuous assessments for 2 days, they go back home. So that's the only physical contact you are going to be, or we are going to be having with the students. But even where the city governor says, no, you can't meet the students, like it happened in Zambia 2 weeks ago. Is it 2 weeks ago? No, about 4 days ago, they were doing the same cuts. So we couldn't meet them physically. We were refused. So we created a system, online exam, where we monitored everybody is on there. The central system is there. They are writing exams. Immediately you finish, you press a button, you send the results. So there are so many possibilities. During COVID. Now, at another level, when we tested the ground in Nigeria, the ground in Nigeria, sorry, I just want to mute the microphone here. Oh, that is quieter now. After we have tested the grounds in Nigeria, and we say, wow, Pastor Emmanuel and group, they have recruited so much students. Now Corona is finished. I'm assuming Corona is finished. Why don't we go just full time? Then we start processes now with the government. Of course, you are going to guide us. What we want, one of our members or 2 members from Europe, they are going to come. You know, if we are needed to come there or anything, or you do it alone, you just give us information or registrations. Then we start renting the buildings. So this comes to educational exchange program. So what we have done in Zambia is, in Zambia when we went, there was no Corona. We said, okay, we are coming to test the grounds here. What we are going to do is, we are not going to start building a premises. First, let's start solving the problem. We start educating contact distance learning. But before we start contact distance learning. Students have to be physically, because there are others who are in distant places who can't come to physical areas. Then we went to the high schools, well-organized high schools, state schools, to say, we want to use your buildings when you have finished classes at 2 o'clock, like the Zambia system is, they learn from 7:30 to 14 hours. 14 hours until whatever time, that building is in our hands. So we tell that school, okay, you are on our education exchange program, because that's another branch we'll talk about some other time. We are going to link you, connect you to an equivalent school in Germany, make exchanges, get materials from them, you know, computers and everything. Us, through that contact, we are going to use your premises for free. And everybody said yes, and the government endorsed. They said, oh, please, go ahead. So we've got, in all 10 provinces, so many schools where we started operating from. But when Corona came, we went to CDL or just Zoom staff. So we can do equally the same thing. That's phase 1, CDL, like we are starting. Phase 2, we can operate maybe for just 1 semester, 6 months only, in rented buildings. Then the third phase, like we are doing in Zambia, we've got a very beautiful piece of land which was gifted to us. We didn't pay anything. They gave us, said, this is where we are going to put our university physically now. So phase 3, then in Nigeria, we can do the same thing. We put up that kind of a structure. Advertising process, how do you advertise now? Like we have done in Zambia also. We used the masses that we have got, we have used social media. So we used social media, and what we did was, look, you students we had like 100 students from nowhere, they applied, even just by hearsays. Those students and our managers like you in Zambia, the agents, we told them, make multiplicative index. Okay, from these students, we created what is called International Student Ambassadors. Every student, every youth has got, you know, on social media, maybe 1,000 friends, 5,000 friends, and everything. So we trained these youth students, and we said, here are the now adverts, flyers they put on their social medias. I tell you, just within 1 week, we were not sleeping, just working on applications. So equally, and we are blessed that you are agreed to churches, and you have got the following. Of course, you are not meeting as churches now, but you can find a way of sending out the message out there using your platforms. That is really going to help. Because if you went to say, let's do television advert, newspaper advert, you really don't know who is going to come, who is not going to come. But we start with, this is how we started in Zambia. We started with social distribution of information. Then we just put, later, I think before 2 weeks before opening, or 1 week, we put now international adverts in Zambia. Classes starting. If you have never heard about this, jump on board, and we flew like that. So that's the proposal. Starting dates, because of CDL, contact distance learning, we start anytime. But we discussed Nigeria, depending on how fast your team is going to move. Pastor Emmanuel, we can push, because Zambia, we have got classes, programs starting next August, I think 25th, I will check, 21st or 25th, we are having inauguration. Probably if we do good here in 5 weeks, almost 5 weeks in Nigeria, probably we can commence around the same area, depending on how you can pull the masses there. Then that's my little presentation. At this point, I can invite some clarifications, some questions, so that we have got some basis where to start from. Your microphone, Pastor Ajay. Okay, I think I muted from here.
Yes.
So,
Can you hear me now?
100%, 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. I hear you.
Thank you very much for the very expository presentation. It is quite enlightening and it's clearer now what the expectations are and what should be the direction of where we need to concentrate effort. A few things that we have picked there is that those who will be interested in following up with the internship program, it is mandatory for them that they also learn German language along the line. Is that correct?
You are right, sir. You are right.
How long will that learning take? And how will it interfere with the main program? I want to train as an engineer. Is it a condition precedent that I must first learn German before starting my program, or as I learn my engineering in Paris Pursuit, I will be learning the language?
It's not a must. I'm going to be very frank with you. It's not a must. But you know why? Because when I came here, I saw how people suffered who came as professionals. They got opportunities, even in a company, which is an English-speaking company. They say, please, you are in Germany, you have got masters in engineering. They would come now to our organization, institute, to learn the language. Somebody who has been already 10 years in Germany. Now you are working in the morning up to 17 hours. In the evening, they're knocking on our doors. We start 20 hours to 22 hours German language. So you are punishing yourself. So for us, because of such mistakes, a lot of people made, we tell all our students, just gear yourself. And you know the goodness is, when you come here with English language, you are an engineer, my brothers and sisters, I can tell you the truth. You are able to penetrate, just go and knock on companies. Vodafone, I want to teach you English. The kind of English you are teaching them, even a grade 9 can teach them. The kind of money they are paying you per hour, you can't believe it. So, people that we brought before, we'll bring them, don't worry, soon, so that as we are addressing the students, they'll be speaking.
Okay.
I mean, in Germany, when you are here, you even sometimes forget your salary. The money is just coming from teaching English. The same director you saw, last time we was talking to our Zambian students, who were just starting, he says, I'm guaranteeing you, the moment you come here for your internships or for further studies, you have all got jobs to teach in our schools in northern part of Germany. So you have to be, ready before the opportunity comes. This is what I tell the students. You cannot just say, I